What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. With me is my co-host, Matt Reed. And today we got something special. We've got Brad from the Canadian band Sleep Less on the show. Brad, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Been keeping up with you guys for a little bit now.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Oh really? Oh yeah, you guys have been on like a few of our playlists now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know usually JC will tackle some of that social media, so he doesn't always fill in on everything.
Oh
And
sure.
then it bounces back and forth, so I'm sure you get it.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I'm pretty much the social media master, the guru, if you will, for Unsigned Pop Punk. So I just have this. I have this weird thing. I can't remember people's names. Like, for the life of me, I can't remember names. So
That's
bad.
fair.
But like I was telling Matt earlier, I was going through submissions and stuff today, and we hit our 2,500 different bands we've worked with now. And
Dang.
I can remember most of them. Like not like I can't just like pull them out and be like, hey, name 15 bands, man. Like I can't do that. But like if I see a submission, I could be like, you're on my list. Yeah, you're already on my list. Yeah, I got you. I know you. And like I can just remember that. I see it and I'm like, I know who you are.
That's pretty killer.
Yeah, it's wild. But for the life, that's about the only thing I can remember in general.
Valid.
So yeah, let's get into it here. You guys released your latest EP, Bring Back Movie Quote song titles, back in February. What have been some of the highlights from this EP's release?
Honestly, probably one of the big highlights is when we were leading into the release and we are hyping up this release before we even dropped it. We got to play a festival called Rock in the Fields of Minnedosa. And so we kind of, since we already had most of those songs not out, but they were like available for only like insiders, right? So we were kind of sending that out and trying to get onto shows and stuff. We managed to get onto Rock in the Fields of Minnedosa, which allowed us to open up for Finger 11, Big Wreck, Our Lady Peace.
Yeah.
So that was a big one for us, kind of like leading to, okay, awesome. We got onto that. Now that even gives us a little bit more momentum to help push this EP and kind of do a lot of things like that. So then we got into that again this year, but we ended up doing a couple different shows, a couple different festivals, and then Finger 11's playing here again, I think in 2 months. So they're trying to find supporting bands to tour with them, but they're like, yeah, if we can't get one, we want you guys to open again. I'm like, okay, cool. So kind of helped keep up that momentum going a little bit. And then that also allowed us to open up for a band called 96 Bitter Beings, which are, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 of the guys from CKY.
Okay.
So we got to hang out with them and stuff. So that was really cool too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Our Lady Peace.
A lot of stuff.
That's a throwback to me. Our Lady Peace. I don't think so. Let me tell you, Our Lady Peace is a band that like when somebody brings it up, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I remember Our Lady Peace. But I'm going to tell you right now, the last time I actually probably listened to Our Lady Peace was on a cassette tape.
Oh boy.
I just want to tell you that's how long ago that was. But like they were like I forget about them. They're good though.
Yeah, they are good. And I honestly forget about them quite a bit too until somebody mentions it or brings it up. I'm like, oh, right.
And you're like,
There's
oh,
one of those
yeah.
It's like that and like Three Doors Down or like bands like that in like that area. Like, oh, that's right.
Yeah. There's another band that I always like. I had their CD and I was like, I fucking love this. And then I always forget their name, but it just came to me. It's Better Than Ezra. Loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so good. When Bo and I were on tour and we covered them in in a school bathroom because it had like such good acoustics. So we played Better Than Ezra. I'm like, oh man, this is awesome.
Nice. I like it.
I forgot about them. Damn.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. There's a lot of ones that like you just kind of forget about, and then you hear it and you're like, oh fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, that was like yesterday. Bo and I were going to practice there, and we're talking about because I got tickets to the Summer of '99 cruise.
Okay.
Like I was so jacked for that. And then he's like, yeah, you got to see Vertical Horizon. Like, man, I don't know who that is. And he started singing some of the songs and he
Yeah,
started
you
singing, I'm like,
do.
oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
know
you do.
that.
Like I saw a band. I saw one band that like brought back memories. They just like popped up a couple days ago. Cake. Oh, you remember Cake?
Yeah. Oh my God. See,
Hell yeah.
I'm going to go
Matt,
down a rabbit hole tonight.
Matt, you ever listen to Cake?
I mean, it's one of those where I can't name a song right now, but I probably, if I play one, I probably hear it.
Well, yeah. If you played that one song, like, because let's be honest, that one song is it's
You're gonna sing it for me, right?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to think of it. It's like nope. I can't think of it. I can hear like the melody and stuff, but no words. Like none
Yeah, that's
of
pretty
the
much it.
words. It's like just, I could mumble the melody of what they're singing, but none of the words.
I mean, that's why people come to listen to the podcast is just to hear you mumble
Mumble words.
mumble song.
I do very often mumble words. My claim to fame.
But getting back onto Sleepless, do you guys have any new music in the works at all?
Yeah. So we're actually going to be hitting the studio again, I believe November, sometime mid-end November.
Okay.
We have a couple of tracks. We're actually going to be performing a couple of them new live.
Right on.
October 9th when we play with Calling All Captains.
Yeah,
So we're
I
busting out
saw
some new
that.
songs during that. So yeah, I'm excited for that and to kind of see how people react to these new songs because one of them's a little bit more of a heavier, kind of like how Alaska was in that realm, maybe slightly heavier than that. And we have someone that's a little bit more on the pop side where it's literally the same four chords the whole way through, just either half or full,
Sure.
and kind of seeing how the crowd reacts to that. So I'm kind of interested to see how the new songs are going to play live before we even hit the studio with them. So it'd be kind of exciting, but kind of nerve-wracking to see.
Sure. Yeah. When are you thinking about putting out like a new single? Like what do you have like a kind of timeline?
Yeah, I was thinking with like because this year's kind of been very hectic with us with
Yeah.
like rotating out the member and doing that kind of thing. So with the way we're kind of lining up everything, I think we're probably going to aim for at least spring and start busting out a bunch.
Cool. That'll be
Do
fun.
this whole waterfall effect that everybody's talking about. So
Yeah, you got to go through the waterfall effect, man.
gotta
That's
do
like
the waterfall,
that's the way to go nowadays.
right? So I think that's what we're gonna line up for and do like videos and
Yeah.
instead of just being like, oh, here's an EP. It's like here's the single, maybe do a music video. Here's another single, do a music video 2 weeks after.
Right.
Like kind of do that kind of thing afterwards.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. Like there's content, never ending content to be made now.
Yeah, you always got to think of something. You always got to keep it fresh and keep it going.
Yeah. It's a good time. So how did you come up with the name for the band? Like what does it represent?
So it's kind of a funny story. So I was originally in a bunch of metal bands at the time.
Yeah.
And I was doing like I briefly joined Down and Dirty and I was talking to those guys and I was like after a while I was like, oh, you know what, like I want to get out of it, especially like in the scene in Winnipeg. You get a little toxic at times and it's the same member for like every band, it seems like. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna step back from metal, I'm gonna do my own thing, I'm gonna do acoustic. Those solo acoustic projects. And that was my
Sure.
mindset on it. And then I was like, oh, I need a name for that. And I was coming up with, I wanted to keep something one word or two word tops for a band name. So I was kind of going on. I'm like, man, like Sleepless just kind of like popped. And I don't know if it was just because the way my lifestyle was going of like just like staying up all night and focusing on music. I'm not sure where it came from. Just all of a sudden just kind of hit. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of like that name. And then so I met Bo on Kijiji, which is like the Canadian version of Craigslist.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, come to my place, record a song, we'll go from there. And like that's just how the ad went. He's like, so he showed up, recorded it, I sent him on his way, and I was sitting there with it, listening to it. I'm like, maybe I should do like start another band again, but maybe hit like a pop punk, pop rock,
Yeah.
rock or something, because I really liked his voice. I was like, there's something here. And so I hit him up, I was like, hey, hear me out. I know you want to do rock and metal, but what if we went with like a pop rock, pop punk kind of vibe? And we went with like a couple other guys that I know. And he's like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. I'm down. And so when we kind of came up with our first song, I was like, okay, now we need a name. And I was like, hey, this kind of came from the idea of wanting to do my solo acoustic project, but now I want to be 100% passionate to this. Why don't we just take the name Sleepless that I have for that and make it into this? So instead of being a solo acoustic project, it's a full-on band thing.
Yeah.
And the guys just like, they're like, yeah, I know, like it's fitting, it's one word, it's cool. And then we just had to put the slash in between for legalities and
Sure.
trademarking and stuff. But other than that, it was smooth sailing.
Right on. I like it.
Of all the
It was kind
songs,
of funny.
of all the songs you've released to date, which song means the most to you and why?
Ooh. Um, I probably have to go with either My Serenade or Surrender. It's kind of
Okay.
like
Yeah.
kind of like a battle between the two. And the way it was kind of the reason why they're both kind of a big hit for me is so when I was writing the songs, I was in the middle of going through like a really bad breakup,
Mm-hmm.
and like we had this whole thing of like marriage and all this other stuff, and it was all talked about and it was like, you know, kind of going, and then like out of nowhere just everything just fell apart, right? So I just focused 100% on music, you know, got to put that emotion in something positive. And
Right.
so one of the things that really stuck with, especially with My Serenade, was it was originally called Chasing Misery, and it was about how like you're constantly seeking that misery and you're chasing it, and it's become kind of like your solace, your serenade and everything like that, and it's kind of become like a thing you're addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that one there, we kind of had that in mind. I was like, yo, this would be a good thing for like a pivotal moment. And so My Serenade was kind of like that start of that pivot
Mm-hmm.
of like, hey, this is that song that will help kind of change, and you go through the emotions and you kind of start to grow and you kind of get over that. And then Surrender was kind of be like, hey, yeah, now we're going over that. Now we're over that hump. We're going over that jump, and that's kind of like the finale of My Serenade in a weird way of like going through the emotions at the beginning and then the end.
Right on. That's a cool concept. I
Yeah.
like it. That's rad. Yeah,
Right?
Surrender's a
I was
great,
like,
great
gotta do
jam.
it. Yeah, that's probably. I think that was like the last one we did too.
Right on. So, who would you say are some of your biggest musical influences? Like, who got you into the scene?
Um, there's definitely a couple different artists. So it started out like getting inspired by the guitar and like being like, oh, I want to do music for a living. Like that's it. And that
Yeah.
would be Eddie Van Halen and Slash. Those were the guys. They kind
Right
of got
on.
me into that. I'm like, yo, this is what we're doing. And then as I got more and more into it, I started discovering more bands of different genres. And then it became Both My Valentine and Children of Bodom. And those were
Okay.
the big influences of like, okay, let's do it. I want to do that as like, I want to do that as a music career. And it was kind of weird how it kind of transpired. I met all of them except for Eddie, unfortunately. Got them all to sign my arm, got it tattooed, and I was like, okay, now if I ever get to the point of I want to quit music, or if I get to like that point of like that roadblock where I feel like giving up and I feel like kind of like letting go on it, is like, no, like this is my inspiration to keep pushing. Why I decided to pick up the guitar, why I continued it, and it became like this everlasting kind of love for the instrument and then those artists that I really look up to.
Dude, I gotta say, I love me some fucking Van Halen. So good.
So good.
Like, at no point would I ever be able to be as good of a guitar player as Eddie Van Halen. I can barely guitar myself. But I can rhythm the shit out of stuff. But once it comes to leads and solos and stuff, it's just out the window.
I feel that.
Hell yeah. Oh, Van Halen, good stuff. Like that's one of those bands that I can just get, once I like listen to a song, I'm gonna listen to this band for the rest of the week now. Like it just, I'll go in spurts of just like, this is all I listen to now. This is it.
Right. It's one of those things where like you get on, you're like, yeah, no, this is my personality for the week.
Yep. Do I got any spandex? I feel like I need spandex right now.
Right. Bring up the leopard pants.
Got to dress the part.
That is true. That is very true.
You got to dress how you're listening, whatever you're listening to, that's how you got to dress.
See, the funny thing is, I feel like that's like what like most people do if you're in like the pop punk emo metal community, like just subconsciously you just evolve it. Yeah, nope, this is it now. You got the black, everything's black, you got the chains, you got the hoodie.
Yeah. I mean, like I've been listening, as Matt knows, I've been listening to a lot of thrash metal lately. That's my jam. That's just all and now I'm like wearing my hat backwards from now on. That's what I do now. That's
Just becomes a
that's
part of
how I
you.
live.
Just been thrash metal and rap metal for the last
Oh,
like
it's I haven't listened to a lot of the rap metal for a little bit now, but it's been thrash metal for sure.
that was the transition.
It did go from like silly goose to municipal waste.
And when I think rap metal, I think of like, oh, what was that band? Um, oh, I can picture their logo, but they were like these kids that had like the pop punk emo look, but they were just, like rapping and singing and screaming these. Oh, what was it?
Is it like the
Ah,
new band? Like, are they new?
no,
Oh,
it would have been like 2011,
I'm like, because that's
2012.
silly goose. That's what you're talking about.
I feel yeah, the Silly is probably like the
Like
modern version of that.
they're
Ah,
the now guys.
they're gonna bug me what band that was now.
Um,
You just had a song called Get Crunk.
was it like Broken Side?
That's it.
Yeah, I never
That's what
listened
I
to
think
them
of.
actually. I didn't do
Fair.
that.
That was them and Attila. That's what I immediately think of.
Okay. Attila.
I
Slightly
don't know why.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, when I get into my rap rock phases, I'm going with like Limp Bizkit, Corn,
classics.
classics.
I hear ya. No, for me, it's like if I go into like Limp Bizkit and Corn, it's 7 in the morning, right after the gym, windows down, and you're just like, just crank it,
That's the only way to do it.
right? And then you get a speeding ticket because it's just how it is.
No, you're not gonna get a speeding ticket because you're gonna outrun them.
There you go.
Get on it.
Unsigned pop punk does not condone running from the police. Just disclaimer here.
Sorry, too much thrash metal and rap metal going on in my brain right now.
Getting a little too hyped.
Just want to break stuff.
If you could open for any tour package of any genre, what would be your dream tour?
Oh, man. Any genre.
Any genre, whatever you want. You can put whatever package together. Doesn't have to make sense.
Ooh. Okay, well, I feel like I have to say Blink. I
Okay.
have to right now. Just with
Sure.
the new album and the new songs, they're hitting right in the feels.
Oh, it sure are.
But right, so I'd have to say that. I feel like the dudes in 5 Seconds of Summer would be kind of cool. They got the
All
good
right.
music.
Yeah.
And let's do another one. Ooh, kind of want to go older.
Sure.
Broken Side.
303.
Let's do it. Ooh, Foo Fighters. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's solid.
Foo Fighters.
One of the greatest bands of all time.
Right? Just saying the vocalist looks a lot like the drummer in Nirvana, you know how it is.
Figure it out.
Twin brothers.
There it is. Mystery solved.
That's what it is. They're twin brothers. Surprised you didn't know that.
Sense.
For the
I know, I'm
longest
disappointed in
time,
myself.
I actually thought Dave and Taylor were brothers, though. Like, they look a lot alike.
Actually, yeah.
Like, they look
I can see that.
brotherly.
They do.
Alike, I think. Anyways.
I
But,
know, like, when I learned of Taylor Hawkins,
yeah.
and then I was getting into the darkness, and I was like, wait, are they related?
The darkness.
Dude, that's the song that I play every Friday, no matter what.
Yeah. You don't
So
play
that's
It's
probably my
Friday
Friday.
song? Because I feel like
Oh.
that's a missed opportunity.
That is, but I'm okay with that.
So that's what was that? Rebecca Black? That's who it was.
Rebecca
Yeah.
Black, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, she was just at like some
Festival.
fest. And like,
What?
yeah. And like apparently like she still like does stuff. And it's better. I don't know.
Didn't she make a Saturday song too, though?
I don't know. I have no idea, but that that Friday song is transcendent. Okay.
Up there with
Yeah.
What'd you say,
Maybe
Matt?
that's the next song we should
up
cover.
there with the greats. Yeah, you guys should
Yeah.
cover
Yeah,
your next show,
Right.
October 7th or 9th. Or
you
October
should.
9th, cover Friday on a Monday.
Yeah.
it's always
You can- I
Friday.
mean, yeah. You
That's
can do whatever
true.
you want. You're an
I
adult.
feel like that'd throw people off. Be like, yo, so this is the best song in the world, you know?
Just start like only play songs that like have the day of the week in it. Like that's it.
Yeah. The
That whole
joke we
your whole
make how we
set.
have Monday morning quarterbacks. We have to have like something for Tuesday now and then something for Wednesday.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
You got it.
That's what we'll do.
I don't know why you wouldn't. So
Stop
I was doing my best to do some deep dive in and stuff, and now not only are you a musician with Sleep Less, but you're also an actor with 2 post-apocalyptic movies under your belt on your IMDb page. I Still See You, which sounds fucking awesome. I'm gonna probably watch that tonight. And How It Ends. What do you enjoy most about acting?
Honestly, probably the thing that I enjoy the most is not necessarily like the acting portion itself. It's the community and the people that you meet on set, the friends that you make. Like when I first got into it, I started talking to a couple of guys. I met a couple of people that are also musicians, which is like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I still talk to those guys. We still hang out. We still go for a couple of beers. Like that's friendships that you kind of they last and they build, and it's really cool. And so I just did another one actually last month. I think it was 1989 is what it's called.
Okay.
And it takes place after FUBAR or something like that.
Okay.
And so it's like a sequel TV show continuation of it. But so I was able to do like I was in a pop punk band, ironically, in that one.
Nice.
And then the Americans were like, oh, making more punk rock. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so they put me and a couple other random dudes in that. And then I was doing a couple scenes for that, but it was more so just watching things unfold, meeting other actors, talking to them, making that friendship. And that's probably honestly my favorite part, no matter like that shoot went until 5 a.m. I was there from like 7. So I was up for 24 hours on that day.
Nice.
Like it was brutal, but made a couple connections. The guy's like, yeah, if you're ever in Vancouver, come hang out. I just moved there. I'd love to make new friends, get people like, okay, cool. So him and I exchange contacts. So anytime I go to Vancouver, we just get together, hang out. So that's honestly probably my favorite part of the whole acting thing.
Killer. How did you get involved in that? Like where did this come from?
So honestly, the only reason why I got into it was out of spite.
Okay.
I 100% did it out of spite. So I was dating this one girl a couple like years ago, and we were watching some movie, and I don't remember what it was, and I was like, oh, I could do acting. That'd be kind of fun. I was just making a bit of a joke, and I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, you wouldn't ever be able to get into acting. You would suck. You'd be terrible at it. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, I see how it is. And then so as soon as her and I split up, I went straight into acting. Like, I'm gunning for this. Like, I got to do it. And then so about a month and a half, 2 months later, I was all over her TV commercials. And then they put me on billboards for one of the schools out here. And so I was all over the walls downtown. I was like, I'm living for this. I'm like, let's go. And so I more so just did it out of spite. And then I just ended up liking it and like meeting the people of it. And like, oh yeah, how'd you get into it? And it kind of like, it just became a funny story. And then, yeah, just sure enough, they like the casting directors have my personal number. So they just text me. I'm like, yeah, I'll go up and do a couple scenes, whether it's background or small little parts. And it kind of just became that. And it's kind of funny how it kind of worked out.
I mean, that's a pretty rad thing to fall into, you know. This is kind of work out. You know, there's people that in California that move all the way down there to make it work and don't.
And then there's me, just did it out of spite.
No, I'm gonna do it because this girl told me I couldn't. Fuck her. I'm gonna do it.
That's pretty much it. I don't like being told I can't do something, so then I have to do it.
I love that.
I get it.
We got one more question before we go to a quick break. If you give give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were starting your journey, what would it be?
Don't take advice from your friends and family. Don't listen to them and I say that out of love, because they're going to see it as what they can't do, or they're going to do it to try and protect you and everything like that, which I get. That's totally cool. But the way like I've learned is you say that because you can't see yourself doing it, or people that you you love and care for doing it, which is totally fine, but don't cast those projections. Because that's a lot of people that I've talked to, they get distracted by that, or they get discouraged because their family doesn't support them or their friends don't support them.
Yeah.
Cut out the white noise, put your head down. You will find people also in the community going through the same struggles that will be there to support you. And those are the friendships that are going to help build you and grow you. And you're going to start growing things together. Who knows? Maybe you get a band together, maybe you get into act together, maybe you get into a business together. You guys are going to grow. It's going to be very supportive that way for sure.
Hell yeah. That's great advice. And once again, 100 so episodes in, and we've never had that answer before. There's always a new answer because everybody's journey is different, and it's great.
Right? That's the exciting part.
Yeah, it is. And that's great. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had family members say, talk shit. It wasn't going to make anything. And, you can't, if you want something, you got to just go for it. You can't be successful unless you're going to put your everything into it.
100%.
So
100%.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our next segment. Imagine having all the best up-and-coming pop-punk, emo, ska, and alternative bands all in one place. In a once-in-a-lifetime playlist. Unsigned Pop Punk presents the Unsigned Pop Punk Playlist. 50 new songs from the best up-and-coming bands in the scene today. All your favorite artists you've never heard of yet. All of this for just $3.99. Go on your computer phone now and listen to the best new artists today. Or submit your own music at www.unsignedpoppunk.com.
And we're back. Thank you so much for sticking around. We are hopping into the food court of the interview segment. Going to
if this podcast is the mall, this segment is the food court.
The food court. We are going to get some questionable Chinese, some Sbarro pizza, and whatever your heart can content, because it is the Canadian food court section this year.
Do y'all got a Sbarro though? I feel like every mall has a Sbarro. At least in the States.
I don't even know. I don't even think so. I don't even remember hearing those words before.
Okay. It's a pizza place, and it's just got mid-tier pizza. Food court pizza.
I feel like if I did see it, it's probably not something I recognize because I never would have ordered it.
So, it's weird. So it's spelled Sbarro, right? Is that what it is, Matt?
Okay.
2 R's. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what it means. I guess I never did a quick Google search, but I always felt like that the name is more complicated than it should be.
Yeah, especially when you hear that, you don't think pizza.
Yeah. I mean, Sbarro doesn't scream pizza to me, but I mean, it does because it's been in my food court, especially for the past 40 years. So
I'm a big The Office fan. And so when Michael goes to New York to visit or wherever the corporate, and he's talking about the authentic New York pizza, he goes to a Sbarro.
Oh, that checks out. That checks out.
I just heard they're apparently going to reboot it too.
Yeah, I actually just saw that on whatever social media I was looking at 2 hours ago.
Yeah, not looking forward to that.
I don't. Do you not have any more ideas? Anything? Everything is a reboot at this point. It's like you have exhausted all ideas. They're already
reboots or live actions.
Dude, they're already rebooting Harry Potter. What? Why?
TV show now, and okay.
I guess. All right. Continue the story, maybe? Do something else?
Right? I feel like there's a lot of material for that.
Or, you know what they could do? That'd be wild. If they wanted to do a remake, they could remake The Hobbit and do it in one fucking movie instead of 3 bad ones.
Yeah, but then they'd have to admit that to themselves.
Just saying. Just throwing my fists out there.
It's ready to go.
I'm ready to fight. All right. Food for thought segment. So while I was deep diving, I also looked into some food things, and Winnipeg is known for a sauce that I don't think I've ever heard of before. Honey dill sauce. First,
100%.
what the heck is it? What the hell do you use it on?
Okay, so honey dill sauce is literally honey, dill, and mayo. Those are the main ingredients. There's a couple other little things here and there, but those are the main ingredients. And
Okay.
I have to be honest, it is probably the best fucking sauce ever.
Okay.
And I say that with confidence.
Okay,
So
because
with
it
that-
doesn't sound good.
It doesn't. I swear, it does not sound good. It's like honey dill. It's like kind of gross.
Yeah, well, it's a
But
little weird.
when
And
you
then
when you
mayo.
put it
A
together,
little weird.
yeah, and then mayo, and then yeah. So it's really good though. And then the biggest thing that people use it for is chicken fingers.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So the biggest thing is like you get chicken fingers and fries. If you're in Manitoba, without question, honey dill sauce. That's
Okay.
what you get. But a lot of people will use it for fries and some other things. But the biggest thing is chicken fingers for it. And then it throws me off because when I go to Vancouver, I go to Toronto or anywhere else, I'll look at chicken fingers like, oh yeah, I'll get some chicken fingers. But then I had to remember honey dill sauce doesn't exist outside of Manitoba. So when I moved to Vancouver, I would get my parents to buy the honey dill sauce in Walmart here and ship it to me in Vancouver. Or if I was driving out here, I'd bring a case back with me.
Right. So what you gotta do? I
gotta do.
I always love like the reason the food for thought segment is so fun is because every country, city, state, like does their own. They all have their own thing. Like, and it's just like, yeah, honey dill sauce. No other place on the planet does that. But Manitoba does that.
And it is so worth it.
I'm not opposed to trying it. I do enjoy sauces like a lot.
I would say look up the ingredients and make it. You can make it yourself and it still turns out really, really well.
Yeah.
I would look it up and I would definitely try it and do it with chicken fingers though. 100%.
Well, yeah, I don't know what else I would use it on.
Fair.
It doesn't sound like something I would want to use on much else.
Valid. No, it's good. I learned that when I was a kid. I went traveling and then I went to go order it with honey dill. And my parents had to explain how honey dill doesn't exist outside of Manitoba. And I was a little disappointed on that. So when as I got older, I was like, well, what else is Manitoba either made or Pacific? And that's when I learned that pizza pots were invented in Manitoba.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a couple things that I saw. I don't remember all of them, but there was a few things that I was like, oh, okay, cool. Interesting.
Yeah, there's some very interesting foods that they have in Winnipeg for sure.
I mean, you know, Canada, y'all got your like poutine and
Ketchup chips.
ketchup. Oh yeah. Or all like what is it? Like all season? Is that
Oh,
what-
all dressed.
all dressed. Yeah. That's fucking good, man.
It's so good, man.
That's so good. We just got that here.
Oh no way.
Yeah. Like, and I saw
Hell yeah.
I was walking through the Super One, I think was the grocery store I was at. And I looked and I was like, holy shit, they got all dressed. I'm like, that's just a Canada thing. I need to get that. And because I knew, you know, and yeah, it's fucking good, man.
Oh yeah.
It's different. It's definitely, it hits way different.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I like just having that, like hearing people talk about it. I'm like, to me, it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's just all dressed chips. But
Yeah.
it's because I've had them for how many years, right? But then hearing other people talk about it, it's like, ah, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Well, and you know, like a lot of people, like especially Americans, like poutine is still something that like not all Americans even know what it is. You know, it's
Right.
and if they hear about it, they're like, well, that sounds awful. And they're like, well, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. It all depends on how you get it made and who makes it.
Right. That's the biggest thing. As you can tell, like Canadians, we're very picky about where we get it from.
Yeah.
And there's certain places we'll go, certain places are like, yeah, no, this place is not very good. And you rate it. Canadians rate.
Is it a out of 5 stars or is it out of 10?
Usually out of 5.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
You
Want to
should-
see what rating. You guys got your metric, and we're just
You say
Americans.
that, but I mean, way
I just-
Canadians kind of like measure everything is like completely different. Like travel is usually based on time, not distance.
Yeah, we kind of do that too. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's like,
yeah. So it's kind of similar in some of that, and then
Yeah,
we use
every
miles
place
for
is like
certain
20
things,
minutes.
kilometers for others.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How you do it?
yeah.
So
No, sure.
with your rating, do you have like a Canadian Yelp called like a Yelp or something? Yelp A?
Yelp pay.
Yelp pay. It's not a bad idea. I don't think it exists, but that's $1 million idea right
There
there.
you go. Take it.
Sorry
It's yours.
scale. It's just the sorry scale.
Yeah.
How
The sorry scale. Sorry, eh?
Sorry, eh? That's so great. Holy shit. That's it. Make your own Yelp and call it sorry, eh? That's awesome. I love it.
Maybe
Because
an exclusive right there.
because the thing is, we're from Minnesota and we're about as Canadian as it gets for the United States. And so it's like I totally get that, because we also have like how everyone's like, fuck man, Canadians are so nice. Well, that's what Minnesotans are. Like, we have Minnesota nice. That's like our thing. And it's like, we get you. I get you.
That's why you're so close to us. That's why they're neighbors.
I know. Just connect like that, connected.
Been to
Madam.
Minnesota a couple times. It's nice.
It is. Yeah. It's a good place.
That's where I watched Warped Tour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a good place. It's where I've
When
watched
it
Warped
existed.
Tour there.
Yeah, when it existed.
Hey, just wait. Just wait.
Right? It's coming back.
Just wait.
I mean, they are everything else.
I
so.
might have some inside scoop, so just wait. Just wait.
I'll be hitting you up every year, be like, yo, where is it?
Every year. Wait one. Wait
Wait.
1 year.
Oh, one more.
See you in the summer. Matt, him up.
For anyone on tour or just traveling through Canada that goes through Winnipeg, what's the must-stop food shop?
Ooh. There's a couple good ones. Trying to think what would be like the stop. Trying to think if I have a stop.
Wingstop.
Ooh. Wings are always good.
Is there a Wingstop in the cities, Matt?
Not close to me, at least.
Okay.
It's on the other side.
Wingstop's good.
Trying to think. Do you guys have Salisbury?
I mean, that's a style of steak I am aware of.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
That's all.
In Winnipeg, we have a restaurant called Salisbury.
Okay.
That might not be a bad stop. Breakfast, hungover breakfast, Salisbury for sure.
Okay.
So I say that would be a stop if you were drinking the night before.
Okay.
Want something a little bit more, fancy, a little bit more bougie.
Bougie.
There's a place in the Exchange. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Deer and Almond.
Okay. Deer and almond. That sounds
Yeah.
bougie.
It definitely is.
Sounds like someplace
And
that
then,
has dill sauce.
Yeah,
right.
there's an expensive honey dill sauce there.
Exactly. It's exclusive.
Yeah.
Part of a club.
They
And then
actually
another one
milk
would
the
be-
bee right there.
It's on tap. And then there's another place. If you want a really good wrap, I think it's Bodego's.
Okay.
So I'd say that would be another good spot. And then there's a poutine shop right beside it.
Every block, it's got the poutine.
Yeah. Pretty much actually.
Right on.
But I'd say those would be the go-tos.
Right. Do we have in the Mall of America, there's like a poutine place in there. Have you been to that, Matt?
I haven't been to the Mall of America in a long time.
I think I went there once. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this. It wasn't very good. It wasn't super good. But yeah, it's like it's a poutine only, like that's all they make is just different kinds of like poutine.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
what I had wasn't super great, but doesn't mean it's all bad. I don't even know.
We have to go down there now and just rate it part of the Sorry A club.
Probably should. Sorry, eh?
Gotta come to the Minnesota State Fair and get the poutine at the fair. I had that this year.
Was that good?
Good. And I know they were official, and I know it was authentic because it was a moose mascot.
Oh yeah,
That's right there.
that rings true.
It was official.
Imported from Canada.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All like they just froze it, sent it on over, just popped it in the fryer, just
Delivered
There you
via
go.
moose.
delivered by beavers. Did you say?
Delivered via moose.
Delivered via
Strong
moose.
carrot. Beavers were they want to get involved.
I mean, it somehow still fits like really well.
That's true. That is true.
All right, Brad. With a name like Sleepless, we gotta know, what's your perfect meal when pulling an all-nighter?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Probably. See, here's the thing, though. I want to go back to the chicken fingers. In all honesty,
that's
I really
fine. You
do.
do you.
Chicken fingers or wings? I would say that.
Okay.
It's got to be meaty, but not like greasy. But it's got to be
Sure.
nice and meaty, and you have like a nice thing of like. For me, anyways, it's yam fries. You know,
Okay.
got to have the sweet potato,
Sure.
and
I
then
feel like
maybe a
that
little bit
would
of
just
honey dill.
make me sleepy.
You'd think so. Just don't eat too much. Don't eat too much.
Don't
But-
eat too much of it. Okay. Don't get weighed down.
Exactly.
Handy scale.
You gotta have that. Yeah, you gotta have that balance there.
Okay. Fair. That's fair.
That and then pop it with like a nice ginger ale or like nice tea or like a kombucha.
Man. You're bougie. You're kind of bougie. I'm over
Maybe just
here
a little
drinking
bit.
like fucking Mountain Dew's new mystery voodoo flavor, and I'm like, man, I'm so cool. And over here, you're like, gotta love the kombucha.
Sweet fry.
Kombucha and some sweet potato fries. Like he's got that $2 added, yam fries.
Pretty much.
No, so dude, sweet potato fries are the way to go. If
Right?
it's so good. I love sweet potato fries.
Do that with like some chipotle sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with a good fry, the test of a good fry is if you can eat it without any kind of sauce.
Yes. I agree with you on that for sure.
And I mean,
Sometimes they're like too soft or they're not crispy, like depending on how you want to go about it. Sometimes they're just kind of gross.
yeah, like anytime anyone has ever made steak fries, ever, they're usually bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I mean, there's too much, it's too much potato on it. It's same thing with like a potato wedge. It's real hard to do a good potato wedge
Yeah, actually.
because it's so much potato.
Too much.
It's too much.
That'd be at a low rating on the Sorry A scale.
Yeah.
That would be a low rating for sure.
Probably get a 2.5
At best.
unless they know what they're doing.
That's the fucker.
Yeah, I think I've only had one place that was good. That'd be about it.
So fast food, right?
Okay.
What's the perfect fry?
Gotta have a little bit of salt.
Sure. What
Can't be too
place?
salty.
What place we got? What's the perfect fry place? Matt, what's your
A&W.
A&W?
A&W.
What are you picking, Matt?
I was gonna say McDonald's, but they've been letting me down. I'm going Arby's.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say.
I forgot
Arby's
about
curly
Arby's.
fries. Arby's curly fries can't beat. Like,
I forgot about them.
yeah, McDonald's, the MacDon, they do have the perfect, just normal shoestring style fry. Like
If
that.
it's fresh though. But
Yeah.
if it's like an hour old or not even
Oh.
hour, 10-minute old, not even worth it.
Yeah, it's got to be fresh, like right
Yeah.
out.
Their fries, unstoppable. if they're like fresh. But I mean,
Arby's can.
it's hard. It is hard to beat an Arby's curly fry.
I'm gonna have to go to Arby's now. We only have, I think, one left in the city.
Yeah,
It's a drive, so I'm gonna have to go there.
it's probably worth it to get those curly fries.
I was gonna
You gotta
say, for those curly fries, it's worth it.
Plus,
gotta
they
get
have
Mountains.
get the meat mountain.
Meat Mountain. It's our secret menu. It's every meat on the menu.
It's true.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's a secret menu item. Yeah, it's called the meat mountain.
That was like A&W with their T-Rex burger.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
one of the
Meat Mountain. I
things.
got to remember that.
One of the things that you just hit us up. We'll tell you.
We'll tell you.
Okay.
If you
I
forget,
got you.
we'll remind you. My favorite thing from Arby's randomly, their like classic gyro is great. I think they make a good gyro.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
I mean, for a fast food place, it's surprising that they make a decent gyro, and I enjoy it. But that is it. That is the end of our food for thought segment. Now it's time to buckle up. Okay,
Oh boy.
it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
You're just gonna speak from the heart. You're gonna shoot from the hip. First thing that comes to your mind, that's go for it.
Oh boy.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow?
Mountain Dew.
Nice. Horror or comedy movies?
Comedy.
Okay. This one isn't an either or, but just start looking around. What's the most random item you have within reach right now?
Super glue.
Was it?
Super glue.
Super glue. Fair enough. I think like one of the best answers we've had so far was that with Hope for the Day, and she had just like a T-Rex skull behind her.
What? That is so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was super cool. We just,
Man, I
me
wish
and
I'd
Matt, we
looked at
pretty
that
much
thing
just pull
behind the
out like
super glue now.
toys or cards.
Yeah.
I just wish I would have said the thing that's behind the super glue that I noticed.
Well, what is it?
It's a glass skull with black roses in it.
Yeah, I would say that is definitely more random
That's cooler.
than super glue.
That's
Yeah. That's cooler.
Fail boat right there. You're just on the lake of fail.
Yeah.
All right. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
Ooh. Cartoon Network, I think.
Right. Yep, that's good. Thin crust or regular crust pizza?
Ooh, they're both good.
Mhm.
Regular.
Okay. Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid?
You know, honestly, I can't even picture who Tara Reid is right now, so
You're just gonna go with low with the flow, huh?
I just have to go with the flow.
nice.
Tara Reid is from American Pie, Sharknado.
Oh, now I know.
I would say those are her claims to fame. Josie and the Pussycats, the movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that had a
Oh,
lot
man,
of
I
really
forgot
good
about her.
ones.
Yeah, I forgot about her though. Damn.
Yeah. She also had her reality TV show, Paradise.
News to me.
Oh.
You have one with Paris Hilton too.
Yeah, Paris Hilton had one, and then there was Paradise, and Lindsay Lohan also had her own like reality TV show. They were all just rocking it. In a sense.
Yeah.
Okay. We got one more. Newfound Glory or MXPX?
Newfound Glory.
Nice. See, we have one more, but we already know you guys don't have it. So we test the jingle knowledge, but we know that Canada does not have O'Reilly Auto Parts.
No, but I know of it, but I don't know the jingle.
Yeah. That's the test, but we have learned from multiple Canadian guests.
Valid.
So, but that's it.
But
You
obviously
did
now
it.
you got to get a Canadian version though.
I know. At this point, I don't know why we haven't thought of that. Matt's looking it up right now. What you got, Matt?
That's okay. I'll fail that one too.
We got 10 classic Canadian commercials.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Pick one.
you know, what you should ask people is Yop.
Yop.
Just ask about the Yop commercial, or the one with a kid screaming that he's a T-Rex, and that'll mainly be a millennial thing. That'll be a millennial thing.
Okay.
Like this kid likes to collect bugs. This other one screams like a T-Rex, and there's the Yop commercial,
Okay.
or the Canadian house hippo. 100% right there. That's the guy.
Canadian House Hippo.
The Canadian house hippo.
Is
That'll
that
win everybody.
Is that a company? Canadian House Hippo.
Honestly,
It was
it's just
it is the Canadian House Hippo is the first video on this 10 classic Canadian commercials.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It's just the Canadian house hippo, and every millennial remembers that.
Okay, so I'm typing this on our script right now. Or for Canadians, Canadian. Wait, yeah, House Hippo.
The Canadian house hippo.
It's nighttime, and House Hippo is
What the hell is this?
I don't know, but all of a sudden scared the shit out of me. Somebody else's voice popped into my ears and was saying,
Oh, you can hear that.
nighttime in House Hippo. It scared the crap out of me, man.
It's just, the hippo is like 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Okay.
always
All
quiet.
There's a cat just staring at it. Like, what the fuck did I
I'll tell you right now, if there was a 3-foot hippo in my house too, my cats would stare at it too. Or try and kill it. What is this?
Yeah, it's like the size of the new AirPods case. Like that's how tiny these house hippos are.
What do they sell? What
So is that a thing you guys just have up in Canada? Just like little house hippos? Do you
We
breed
just
them?
have little house hippos. Yeah, they're little pets. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna question it.
every Canadian has one.
Yeah, I
If they
believe
don't,
it.
they're lying.
Yeah.
I'd be ignorant to question it.
Do you have a house hippo?
It's mandatory.
What's the name of your house hippo?
Gary.
Gary? Hmm. Checks
Oh,
out.
Yeah,
Checks out.
I
I
was
put
big
it
into
in.
SpongeBob.
Huh?
I was big into SpongeBob, so it kind
Oh,
of
sure.
I
I
wanted
put
my
it
own
into
Gary.
my computer to see if you're lying, and you were telling the truth.
And we have your parents here to
We have your parents here to
Oh, no.
corroborate that story. It's a good thing, because if you lied to us, it would be a whole different story. Get all like menacing,
Right.
get all saw on them. What a plague!
I could just see you guys later just Googling all these Canadian things now. The Canadian house hippos, a Yop commercial. Boy
I mean,
screaming
he
as a
already.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I just looked at my phone, and he already sent me over the house hippo commercial. So
See?
I will be watching it. But
You're welcome.
that is it. You did it. You finished the podcast. Now's your chance. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next.
All right. We got a show October 9th with Calling All Captains.
Yeah.
That'll be the next big thing. And then we're going to be hitting the studio, recording some music. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And then social media, you can find everything at Sleepless WPG, or if it's on music distribution platforms, go sleep/less. And you'll find everything under that as well.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Brad. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I loved it. A lot of fun.
Good. Yeah. That's the goal, for everybody to have fun, All right.
I'll be hitting you boys up when I'm in Minnesota next.
You should, because I mean,
It's not that far of a drive,
probably
actually.
have to drive through like where I live. So I'm way up north. I'm 2 hours away from the border. I'm in Duluth. So
All right. So I'll be seeing you next weekend.
all right, see ya. Hit me up. I'll be home. You want come on down for emo prom? It's gonna be a good time.
There you go.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah, we have emo prom. Yeah, we're putting it on next weekend, next Saturday.
Oh, wow. That really is next Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only like, if you're 2 hours from the border, you're about 3 hours away from me.
Really? Where
Probably.
where?
Depending whereabouts.
Yeah.
Well, Manitoba.
Well, We'll chat.
We're
We'll chat.
right
We'll chat.
there.
We'll chat.
Just
Okay.
tell us your address.
Yeah. Give me. What's your address? Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah,
Google
so it's
Maps that.
1234 Fire Lane.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna Google Maps that.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Oh, cool. You're like really close. Let's meet at A&W.
Oh, hey, did you know we're neighbors?
Oh shit. You live. Oh, never mind. I almost said like my address because I was gonna try and be funny, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna stalk myself.
It's out
right?
there now.
That's
Like,
what's called
we have
Matt.
to bleep that out now.
Yes. Well, it's a good thing it's not live or anything. You know, I'm gonna scrub this.
Yeah, just edit it after.
Yeah, the people are listening with pens and notepads. They're like,
Right, just ready.
"Say it. Say your name. Say your address. Because they're just clamoring to know where we're from. Dying.
Big
for it.
fans. Big fans.
I don't listening to every episode, just trying to figure out where the fuck we are.
Where's that office at?
I heard a train in the background, so they got to be okay. Putting pins up. Got to be near a train station.
Just reminds me of that meme from like the guy from Sunny in Philadelphia with
Yeah.
all the fucking pins
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, they're there.
Oh, that's a great episode. Great episode.
That's so good.
Okay,
I'll go back and watch it now.
you should. I'm probably going to now. Like after I watch
Hippo.
No, well, I do have to
Canadian
watch
Hippo.
Hippo, but after I watch, what's it called? I forgot. I Still See You with Bella Thorne.
Yeah, my buddy still bugged me about that movie.
Is it good? Like,
I
tell
don't
me.
know. I've never watched it.
You've never watched it? Why,
I never watched it. I've seen my scene. I was like, okay, cool.
dude? The
Puzzle.
premise of it like sounds very interesting.
I don't know. After like meeting Jamal Maloney, hanging out with him, and hanging with Bella
Yeah.
Thorne, and like making that connection, I was kind of like, I don't really want to watch this movie.
Oh, see, because I saw like Bella Thorne was in it and Dermot Mulroney, and I was like, oh shit, this is a fucking film. Okay, film. I'm gonna check it out.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, enjoy it. Let me know if it's any good.
Okay. And with that, we're going to hop into the Unsigned Pop Punk News. You'll hear that after this jingle right here. And we're in the Unsigned Pop Punk News. Thanks so much for hanging out and continuing on with this podcast, because this part is the informative part. Before, that's all entertainment, baby. This is all information, things you need to like just see into your skin and just retain this. You need to retain this. And with that super awkward bit, tell us what you thought about the episode. Hit us up, slide into our DMs, hit us, make a comment, leave a comment on any of our social media. Be like, oh, this was the best. Pat didn't screw up his name this time. This was awesome. I'll be like, yeah, thanks for noticing. I love that. It doesn't make me embarrassed at all. It's cool. Don't worry.
It's fine.
No,
It's fine.
it's fine. No, for real though. Like we want to hear from y'all. Like chat with us. It's a good time. Join our Discord. Links everywhere. Join it. You're gonna have a good time. Matt, tell them about that new thing we've been doing with the gender equality. We got new things.
Have you been sleeping under a rock? If so, press 1. But in reality, though, gender equality merch just got an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
We released so many new colors. We released so many different
Variants. Yeah.
variants, how you want to call it. We have sweatshirts now. We got coffee cups.
Mhm.
We got maroon, black, pink, light blue, yellow, and green t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We got some crop toppies. If you
Crop
like
top.
those, they are unisex crop tops.
and it says, if you've not seen this merch, so you go to unsignedpoppunk.com, go to the merch tab, find that gender equality collection.
Mhm.
But if you've never seen it, you can wear a shirt and it says gender equality is dope as fuck. And
Mhm.
fuck is
Got the colors.
the colors, got
All the colors.
Gully, everything. It was
Mhm.
beautiful. And
Beautiful.
on top of that, so not only do you get rad merch, not only do you have options, so you can wear one every single day of the week,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
On top of all of that, 15% of every purchase of any one of those items that we just listed is donated to the Trevor Project, whose mission is to end suicide among LGBTQ youth. So, you're going to help us with supporting the amazing cause and help support saving young LGBTQ lives. And what's better than that?
There's nothing. There's nothing better. There's not much better at all. And fantasy football still going on while you're hanging out at a merch store. Maybe you've already got your gender equality shirt. Well, you know what you don't have? Well, maybe you do have it. But if you don't have it, fantasy football merch. And now you go, why would I want fantasy football merch? That doesn't even make any sense. Well, let me tell you. It's because it's cool. It's hella cool. And there are 12. Nope. Yeah, there are 12 different options. The Unsigned Pop Punk, we don't have our own, because there's no point in putting our name on the front and the back. That's just silly. But you got our fantasy football logo on the front, still says support local music, and our name. It's what we're all about. So you're still supporting. But on the back, it's got your favorite team name. Okay? And not normal football. It's band against band, head to head each week. So you could pick from Felicity, Keep Flying, Linus, Glimmers, Smooth Brain, and a whole bunch more. There are 12 different teams in this fantasy football league and 11 different shirt options. Like I said, you're not going to get one with Unsigned Pop Punk on the back because it's just silly. Our name's on the front of all of them. But you can, and if you don't, and you just want, like, oh man, I freaking like that logo, then just get that. That's an option too, without the team name on the back. But support your favorite band. And if you buy this shirt, we also are going to be donating. So the first little bit of money just goes into a trophy for the winner at the end of the year, because they worked hard on creating the best fantasy football team they could possibly make. And if you win the championship, you should get a trophy. And after that, after the trophy has been purchased and we make enough money past trophy, all of that money, we're not going to keep any of it. Bands, not going to keep any of it. We're going to donate it. We haven't figured out to what charity yet, but we're going to be donating it to some charity. And so you'll be saving somebody's life, helping somebody do something great. Let's help people. That's what we're here for. Loving people and helping.
Amen.
Thanks. Amen.
Amen.
And that, my friends, is the way the news goes. Thank you again to Brad from Sleepless for hanging out with us today. Thanks, Matt, once again, for always being my friend. Thanks, Gibby. We miss Gibby. Hope Gibby comes back to doing stuff with us soon. I hope at this point that this episode airs, we got our Gibby back. He did just recently, he did that streamathon, right, Matt? Did the streamathon for Hope for the Day. He told me they raised $1,300 for Hope for the Day. So that's awesome. Nice. So thanks to everybody that participated in that and helped donate to one of our favorite charities, Hope for the Day. And thanks to Lawrence Crow for being the coolest dude that makes all the coolest designs. If you need design work, hit up Lawrence Crow. Find him. He makes all the cool stuff, and he'll make you look cool too. Thanks to Ross from Electric Kiwi for all the website stuff. If you need a website, hit up Ross at Electric Kiwi, and that man is going to set you up like you haven't been set up before. Thanks to all you guys for listening, and we'll see you next Monday. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you so much to those of you who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else you stream your podcasts. If you're in the position to help us grow and like behind-the-scenes access and exclusive shows, head on over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thank you all so much.